At 10 p.m. on January 31st, 2012, a 23-year-old man named Chen Rongyu walked into an internet cafe in New Taipei City, Taiwan. There was at least about 30 people already sitting behind each of these terminals, fully engrossed in whatever game, and not one of these people even looked up when Chen walked inside. Nobody was interested in Chen. But for Chen, that was sort of part of the allure of this cafe. He got to sit down and play his game and be totally left alone. And so Chen walked up to the counter and paid for some time, sat down, and immediately fired up his favorite game, League of Legends. He routinely would spend 8-hour-long marathon sessions at this internet cafe just playing League of Legends to try to level up and move up in the ranking system. And so today, that's what Chen was going to do. And so after the game was booted up, he immediately locked in and he was in his first battle. And then before long, hours had gone by and he hadn't even gotten up. He basically just all night gamed, just nonstop, periodically stopping to literally put his head down on the table and take a 15-minute power nap, only to get right back up and get back into the game. By a little after noon on February 1st, Chen had been gaming nearly non-stop for 14 hours, which was long even by his standards. But he couldn't stop now. This is like one of the best sessions he had ever had, and right at that moment, he was in the middle of this really intense match where his team was about to get knocked out by this really good opponent, and if Chen could just lock in, they could pull out a win. And so Chen was super focused, leaned forward, hands flying across his keyboard and mouse, and he managed to dodge an attack, and then he geared up for the big strike. Right as he did, something went wrong. About 9 hours later, the cashier at this internet cafe grabbed her clipboard with all the information about each of the customers and how long they had paid for, and then she began making her rounds. And part of it was she needed to speak to all the people that were there and confirm that they were supposed to be here still. She began going one person to the next, being like, hey, are you good? Did you pay for your time? You're gonna be here any bit longer? And eventually, she got to Chen. And when she got to Chen, Chen was focused on this game entirely to the point where when she said, hey, your time is up. You've been here for 24 hours. You paid for a Chen didn't even look up at her. Nothing she could do could get Chen to even acknowledge her. He was so focused on the game. And so eventually the cashier, out of frustration, was like, hey, and she kind of tapped his shoulder and Chen leaned back. And when he did, and the cashier got a good look at him, she screamed. Here's what the cashier saw. This is a picture of Chen, and Chen is in full rigor mortis because 9 hours earlier, when he was in the middle of that really intense fight with that opponent who was about to beat Chen and his team, he got really excited and he was about to land that big strike that potentially could have been the blow that would have won the match. Well, he was so amped up that Chen had a heart attack and died. And for the 9 hours after he died, when he was still in the same position he was in playing the game, nobody noticed. He just sat there appearing to be fully alive, locked into the game like everybody else, but he was actually dead. Chen's family would later say that he had pre-existing heart issues that very likely contributed to his fatal heart attack.